Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. Happy hour is here. Serve up the beverages, right? We appreciate you hanging out with us all morning long and for this final hour. Whether you're listening on the radio dials, you got a couple of those, 105.1 FM, 790 AM. Also available to stream up online, sportstalk1051.com. And you've got, of course, your smart devices, smart speakers like your Alexa devices, and the app, and the YouTube video stream. Don't forget to ring that bell and follow the YouTube page. Just look up my name, Dan Casper with a K, and there you have it. So, also, Man Cave Podcast. Don't forget to follow that. We're good. If you missed our conversation with Ty from Slab Factory, those convos, they will be available on the Man Cave Podcast. So make sure you're following that. And if you could, give a 5-star rating and a positive review, because it helps the algorithms, the computer people or whatever. It helps people find the podcast a little bit later on. So, baseball-wise, Brewers back at it, 6:45 tonight. You could catch the game on your radio dials, 105.1 FM and 790 AM. Pre-game coverage set to begin at about 35 minutes prior, so about 6:10. 6:10. Can the Brewers pick up another win, their fourth in a row against the Cardinals in this 5-game series? We shall see. But you were talking about grades, too, from ESPN there, Lucas. Packers, no surprise. Or Packers, Brewers, no surprise. A+, with that, on pace for 101 wins.
Best ever pace. That's like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I'm a big believer in this number. I know some people kind of go back and forth on it, but as they said, run differentials don't lie. And they've got one of the best in Major League Baseball too, even though they don't hit a ton of home runs. But
yeah, and yet Kurt Hogg keeps posting this online. It feels like this team just isn't doing that well of late, but the end result is they're one of the best teams in baseball. Mm-hmm. I guess both can be true. I don't think, like, I think this is more a case like with the recent Brewers of the past 3 weeks or so. I think they're in a bit of a slump that's still kind of working out, as opposed to underlying numbers that are going to catch up to the team. I think if they have comparable offensive weakness come playoff time, of course, it's going to be another quick ending. But, yeah, they probably do need to. We talked about this earlier about the trade deadline. Now we're getting closer, like really close. They probably need to add more power if they can.
Right.
But I think overall, I think they're constructed fairly well, that given the right breaks, understanding the vagaries of the postseason, I think they might be able to do something if everyone stays healthy. Of course, caveat, which applies to literally every team. I just got done reading Moneyball for the first time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is the book better than the movie?
I saw the movie, though it's been a while since I've seen it. I think the book is better because there are more storylines involved. You get the authenticity, and Billy Beane really comes across as like, he doesn't seem that likable.
Oh, so Brad Pitt didn't really nail it?
I don't think, like, I was like, how is Michael Lewis surviving all of these interviews? Like, Beane seems like a full-on jerk. I don't know that he actually is, but that's the impression you get with all of his. I mean, he's got a temper. At least he had one. I don't know if he still does. But the reason I bring up Moneyball in particular here, because of course that, like, the book changed the game. I mean, I don't know if the book had not happened, would every other team have ignored analytics? Probably not. But given how significant that was, it was like, okay, let's go back and reread the whole thing, the whole analytical approach. That's kind of where a lot of it originated with the A's approach of the early aughts. But as they say towards the end, the playoffs are pretty much completely different. And essentially they admitted, I think it was between Beane or Paul DePodesta, who if you recall, was the assistant before he went on to all the rest of his career. The analytical approach, it wasn't called analytics at the time, but that's what we essentially say now. Sabermetrics was referenced. So they kind of intertwine. This is great for the regular season, and that gets you to the postseason, and then you see what happens. The vagaries of the postseason, which we talked about so many times, they knew that back then, back in 2002. Like, yeah, we can do all this stuff. We can break out all the data that all the other teams back then didn't want to look at. They do now. But the postseason is going to be totally different. The end result for the A's, one and done. I remember that series very well. I remember, are the Twins going to blow it? Are they going to blow it? I can still remember that final out in Game 5, beating the A's, going on to the ALCS. And the A's were probably the better team, but it didn't work. Mm-hmm. That's the playoffs. We've seen that so many times. So fast forward now to 2026. Maybe this is the year the Brewers actually have it. Even if they don't have the power, maybe their pitching does get them on it. We don't know. So get yourself in the best possible position in the regular season, and they're in a good position to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't believe that there are some people on here, but there are some MLB writers, Dan Clark, that had an issue with Jackson Chourio last night batting left-handed.
Is it because of the integrity of the game and don't show up your opponent?
He goes, boomer take alert, but I'll own it 100%.
Okay. Well, he acknowledges it.
Jackson Chourio is not a left-handed hitter. He never has been, yet last night he batted left-handed in the ninth. Playing MLB should never be trivial. Many guys bust their butts for years and never get the opportunity. Terrible look. Well, then I'm sorry. Don't have a position player be lofting and pitches at the end.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of the same thing?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. I mean, I get it, but come on.
Could you have a reserve squad for if you really do run out of pitchers that you could have one? You have one person from the minors who is designated to only come in a game where there is really set the rules of there has to be an 8-run differential in the 8th inning or later with no relief pitchers actually available, and then that one guy comes out. Now, that would be a more integrity-based approach that would respect people that are grinding to get up to the majors and have that one guy right there. But if you're going to have a position player go out, well, okay, fine, have another position player bat opposite-handed.
Yeah.
Cool.
The dude also hit it 360 feet on the first pitch. So
right.
That's the other. Granted, I know it wasn't a 95-mile-an-hour slider or whatever.
This wasn't John Kruk against Randy Johnson in the All-Star game.
Right.
We're all having a joke with it. It wasn't fully serious, no, okay, but it wasn't a complete joke.
Here's my thing. What's worse? Jackson Chourio going up there left-handed and taking a swing on the first pitch, or hard you-know-what guy saying, I'm going to take a walk because these pitches stink. You know what I mean?
Right.
Oh, nope, not swinging on this, and we're just going to walk and walk and walk and walk and walk. What's worse?
Right. Well, and then the game never ends.
Right. And you're showing up the position player guy, just that's trying to get through this thing.
There are plenty of examples, the ones we don't hear about because everyone just kind of collectively decides it, and you don't see a visual cue of players that find ways to get games done.
Right.
They're like, okay, we're just gonna let's just swing a little extra, get some extra outs, so we can wrap this thing up. Come on, it's a blowout. That's not integrity of the game. That's where some minor leaguers probably give me a chance. I'd like to be there right now. I'd like to have my opportunity. But that's been happening for decades in baseball. Mm-hmm. Well, it happens in every sport towards the end. It's garbage time. Why do you think they call it garbage time?
Right. I was actually kind of surprised they threw in a position player at that point, 10-2. I get it. But
yeah, that was the other thing. I thought, you can overcome leads like that. Yeah. I mean, unless the Cardinals really knew the vibe was so off in their player. And it was a second game of a doubleheader, so maybe that all explains it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was a little surprised by that, too. I would have thought a 14-1 kind of game would make more sense. They threw the towel
in pretty early on that one.
So, okay.
Whatever.
They're a bit of a youngerish team, I guess. I don't
know. Okay, tell you what, let's take a quick break. I want to get back to a little bit more soccer talk, some more baseball as we wrap up the last 45 minutes. We'll be right back after these few words. All right, I want to get back to some soccer chat here for a sec because I know Team USA's out, but we had, kind of a historic comeback yesterday with Argentina and Messi over Egypt.
And VAR.
Yeah. For those who maybe aren't the biggest soccer fans and such, what's a comparison for Messi? Okay, like, is he the Tom Brady? Is he the Jordan? Jordan? Okay. Yeah. So he's above Ronaldo. Is Ronaldo LeBron?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The limit, again, I always qualify when you're looking to who you follow on social media. That's your choice. It's your bubble. Mm-hmm. Even if you try to make a point of let's diversify, you still are making your own choice as opposed to a very definite broad, everyone's going to get the perspective. But I was getting very strong anti-Ronaldo vibes, like, oh, darn, I guess he's going to have to go get some more plastic surgery now.
Okay.
Someone posted a picture of that statue that really does not look like him at all. Like, in 10 years, he's going to actually look like that.
Yeah. That's when you said the plastic, that's where my mind instantly went, was that bust or that statue of his. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's like, it looked bad at the time, but maybe it was prescient. Definitely. I mean, there's a dislike for him that you don't see for Messi. I mean, Messi is wowing people. I would say maybe Wayne Gretzky as well, in terms of like, oh my gosh, how does he keep doing this stuff? Now, in Gretzky's case, that was more earlier in his career. Mm-hmm. Messi is doing this so late in his career. It's where he had a little bit of the Jordan stuff, I think. Of course, 90s Jordan. We're not talking Wizards.
The second part of the...
Right, but where he was still doing stuff up through the end of the Bulls run. Mm-hmm. You're like, how does he keep doing that? I think that's probably the best one. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of the goals that he gets, he's just like, he's always in the right place at the right time. Of course, because he's a soccer, he really is a soccer genius.
Is there, can USA ever get to past the round of 16? Are they trending in a good direction right now, do you think? Or is it still neutral? I mean, are they going to change coaches again and try to figure this out? I mean, I saw a stat that I'm blanking on the guy's name who's the coach right now, but he's already got the most wins for Team USA as a head coach in the World Cup. Or tied?
Yeah,
with his first year.
I mean, it also helps that you have extra rounds.
Okay.
Too. Because there was a round of 30, like they expanded it this year. So, of course, that's going to help. But going through the story today, yeah, Pochettino. But the problem with Team USA, Ryan O'Hanlon wrote this up, this reading this morning, again at ESPN. That he had a deep dive that it's really not him. It is the players. A lot of them underwhelmed at the wrong time or aren't good enough. Like,
I was just going to say, is it a talent problem?
Yeah. He was going through the list of the players, like Matt Freese, MLS-style player. Okay, he's not going to be playing Champions League or even Premier League soccer. Tim Ream, 38. I know you got a lot of older ones that are good, but he's been around a long time. Christian Pulisic. What are we doing here? Like, he's supposed to be the megastar of this team.
Perfect Wednesday. What are we doing here? So that's our theme for Wednesday.
I know. Yeah. What? Balogun. Of course, we knew that. I mean, he was good at times, but it's just not quite. The best guy is Freeman, probably.
Antonio's kid.
And as O'Hanlon said, he's probably the guy that maybe 4 years from now will be coming off of a run with a really good international team when he's playing for Team USA. But he might be the one. The quality still isn't there. That story made a point of reminding that I want to find the exact stat here. It was once put Giovanni Trapattoni, who's won a lot of big soccer matches internationally, said his quote was, "A good manager makes a team 10% better, and a bad manager makes it 30% worse." So if you don't have the talent, they have got a good manager right now. That article also said, like, hey, we went all analytical to where do the stats take us? Well, the stats may take you right back to him. So then what? I don't think it's the manager. I don't think we need to go through another reimagining of the U.S. men's national team. It's that they
need talent development or recruiting talent?
I think it's talent development, because it's not like what we see in college sports a lot. Like when you say that, my first thought goes to the border battle. Mm-hmm. And I know this especially of like all the Minnesota basketball talent goes for Wisconsin and all the other places, and the Gophers are always meh. They could be really good, but they can't keep their folks there. That's not the case with younger soccer talent. It's not like they're all going over to Europe, down to Brazil, and to Mexico, and they're going to other places, and they're not. Well, plus they'd be able to probably come back home. It's a matter of, can you claim the United States to play for your team?
Yeah.
They're playing, and this isn't like some weird Olympic loophole of like, yeah, I had a father's brother's cousin once spent a little bit of time in this obscure island, so I'm going to go play for them. Which the odd off that's fine, mm-hmm. But it's not like they're doing that en masse. They're still playing for Team USA. It's the development, and I don't think the development's still there. We're still trying to catch up to cultures that have fine-tuned soccer for decades and decades and decades. It's the reverse of finding out when is Switzerland going to catch up to the United States with American football. Maybe they could. I'm just throwing that out as a random country. They could, but we've had decades and decades and decades of building up American football players to play that particular sport. Of course, we're going to have an advantage. The other places are going to have an advantage. The pro teams are going to have advantages. They have their academies, all of that. It's better. Mm-hmm. So I think we can get to the round of 8. Team USA, that same story that I keep citing from Ryan O'Hanlon, I would encourage anyone to read that because it's deep divey, but also it kind of covers a lot of the bases there. It's one person's perspective, but there's a lot of data.
It's not, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like, because I'm trying to go with the comparison, American football is, I mean, we're going to find out in the Olympics just how dominant it is for flag football, I think.
We think.
But, like I go back to Team USA for basketball when it was down. And then you had the dream team kind of they did all. But you can't really do that with soccer, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like the pros aren't playing. There's no Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and all those guys that
they're
you can
all
recruit.
there.
And, yeah,
mm-hmm.
Right. So it's not something like that. Even like I'll say World Baseball Classic or TV. I mean, they made the finals. It's just baseball is more of a world. I mean, there's other countries
it's international, and that's why Team USA doesn't do as well because, well, my gosh, we know this. All the international players mm-hmm. that play. There could be other dynamics do the international players take it more seriously because we've seen the legendary, like the Caribbean World Series. Mm-hmm. See some of those playoffs during the offseason hot stove. You've ever seen those highlights? And if anyone hasn't. Oh, watch. They take that very seriously, but they also have a lot of fun. Whereas it seems like Team USA, we Americans, don't get too much into this. Mm-hmm. Come on, folks. I see, we're back to the dreaded 2010s Atlanta Braves unwritten rules, don't do anything approach. I think that was some criticism of Team USA this year. But I don't want to clown too much on Aaron Judge, but remember when... What was it? Was it Bryce Harper or who was it that hit like a big home run and Judge is like, whoa, settle down. Like, what? The other teams are going nuts and we're like, chill out. Come on. Let's keep the straight demeanor right here.
Well, would you say baseball is a little bit more of the, what's the word I'm looking for from an international standpoint? Even talent-wise?
Yes.
It's the P word that I'm trying to...
parity.
Parity, thank you. Parity.
Baseball, you've got a fair amount of that.
Hockey, I know a few, but
it's more of a handful.
Mm-hmm. Same with basketball, I would say, on the Olympic stage.
Yeah, I mean, the United States is
if they throw their A team out there.
Well, okay, A, you got to get everyone to play.
Yeah,
but B, the international approach is getting better and better. Now, that's probably I'd say that's the more interesting one about talent development. The talent. Or maybe I should say ability development. skill development. That's the best way to put it. The talent is there in Team USA, or I should say with American basketball players. It's the best way to play the sport is the question, where the international players seem to have broader skill sets. Mm-hmm. The American players seem to be more focused on highlights, get the chip, all that. And then when it really counts, maybe you don't know as much anymore. Is that a development thing? It's really starting to become more present there. We're squandering an advantage that the United States should have in basketball. I think that's a growing concern. Compared to soccer, that's one where we're catching up, and we could get there. Belgium was not favored. Team USA was. Yeah. So in that regard, we kind of were there to go to the final eight. So I don't think we're that far off. I don't remember if we were favored in the other round of 16 times before. I don't think so. But
was it Germany the last time?
Yeah, and then go back to 94. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the fact that Team USA was favored means the ability to get there exists. It's going to have to work. It's an ongoing project is probably the best way to put it. It is good to see more and more players going to play in international soccer. That's the best stamp of approval. They're going for only the best. Well, if the best come from America, that's good signs. There's some of that. But overall, infrastructure-wise, it's an ongoing project. But I wouldn't be surprised if as early as 2030 they move on to the round of 8. Of course, knowing how they tend to go back and forth, I also wouldn't be surprised if they don't get past the...
So why is the women's team so much better?
I think we took women's soccer more seriously than internationally. I think that built up through the high schools. Like I remember in the mid-'90s, I'm sure anyone listening right now probably remembers, you might have had a really good women or girls soccer team at your high school 20, 30-ish years ago. I remember classmates at Memorial High School that were pretty decent soccer players by Eau Claire High School standards, but that was a thing in 1995-96. This was not, as I recall, I don't think it was like a response to the World Cup. No, it just built up. And we built up that infrastructure. We had enough talent. We had enough interest that superseded the rest of the world. The rest of the world is starting to catch up more, but fair enough. Spreading around the world. But women's soccer never was really a thing internationally. I guess the same applies to a lot of other ones.
Would that be like women's softball?
Kind of, yeah. It's like, I mean, okay, we'll go there. I don't think the idea of women playing sports was considered that important for a long time. I don't think that's really a hot take. I don't think that's really like, ooh, social... Duh. And look at what was going on in the 1930s, 1950s, 19-teens. No, it was the guys play sports and the women by and large don't, with some exceptions. Culturally, we didn't take it as seriously. And then we did. And in some ways, the United States brought it on even more. I think Title IX probably helped a lot with that. Well, the end result is women's basketball, softball, women's soccer. And we're dominating with that, and that's pretty cool that we can say that. But the other sports where men were playing more, and this gets globally too, because again, around the world, you didn't see that happening. You're seeing more. Each one is at their own pace of catching up to the others.
Yeah, interesting. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back, though, after these few words. Get Brewers back at it tonight, 6:45. First pitch on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM. Coverage will begin 35 minutes prior, so 10 after 6 this evening. The fourth game of this 5-game series with the Cardinals, and then Brewers are going to be back on the road taking on the Pirates. I feel like they always end with the Pirates before the All-Star break, or they play the Pirates right after the All-Star break.
Like playing the Lions or the Bears for the Packers at the end of the regular season.
That or the Vikings around hunting season.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah,
that always seems to sync up that way.
Yeah, but I mean, You got Jacob Mizorowski yesterday in the doubleheader that he went 7 innings, picked up the 10th win. Robert Gasser looked good. Joey Ortiz actually had 5 hits yesterday. That dude is actually hitting now, so maybe the move to third base was good.
That's good.
With that, too. But Luis Lara making his debut yesterday. Be interesting to see how that rotation in the outfield goes. It's pretty deep right now with Cheerio.
Prospects, or maybe I shouldn't say prospects, but prospective trade bait there, maybe.
Better not be Sal, but I'm nervous.
Why are you nervous now? I mean, granted, Sal Frelick hasn't had the biggest amount of wow moments of late, but why would you be concerned about your boy Sal?
Because Garrett Mitchell's playing a lot better. He's got more power than Sal Frelick does. I think we're seeing the version of Garrett Mitchell that everybody wanted to see last year, replacing Willie Adames with the power part of that lineup. Sal, I think, to me, Sal's a better defender. Obviously, he has a Gold Glove to it. I just think the offensive abilities for Garrett Mitchell is higher than Sal Frelick is, and that's what worries me. I know Lara is more of a center fielder by trade, but I mean, they can figure it out. So I just that makes me nervous. If it's from an offensive standpoint, it makes me nervous for Sal Frelick.
What have we been saying? What do they probably need? Offense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm definitely nervous, even though he is a Pat Murphy guy.
Okay, so let's game out the Sal Frelick trade here.
No, I don't want to talk about that.
Who are they targeting? Who would you say right now is a good target? Sal Frelick, Minnesota Twin?
For who?
Byron Buxton?
Nathan? I mean, I don't know. Maybe
I'll take him. Hey, cool. You can send over your Sal Frelick to
that would be
camp.
One where I would be worried about chemistry. If we're worried about team chemistry in that with the Brewers, which I think is very high, and I would trust Murphy to keep that, but that would be one from a player personality
because of
and
Frelick's
good
chemistry.
Yeah, exactly. I mean.
But
I think they'd be able to overcome it, but it would be maybe initially kind of a shock.
What was the year that? Now I'm trying to remember. Was this something we were speculating about, or was this something that actually happened? About the Brewers bringing in someone who maybe didn't have the best chemistry, but the idea was they will find a way to work it out.
Was it the Manny Machado?
Maybe it was around that time. I'm going so far back as to think of Yasiel Puig.
Oh, that might have been one too. The whole Ryan Braun and you
could they do that?
Yeah, that might have been one.
Would that be okay?
I think you're right. I think it was Puig.
But we're also getting into different levels of decision making, different people for decision making. This is not the Matt Arnold, Pat Murphy era of who are we bringing in. So they may have a different take on who they can acquire, who would be good. I mean,
we saw the effects of trading Josh Hader and how that screwed up the clubhouse.
That also was under Counsell and Stearns. That also may have been a trade that they actually did need to make, and it just so happened to mess up the chemistry. But what was your other option? You're going to lose Hader for nothing, probably.
I think the part, though, was just the timing of it all.
Yeah. I think it was one of those, the timing was bad. But I also don't know. I mean, unless you went much earlier, I don't know that there was much you could do about it. It was going to be bad anyway.
I think it was just your first place. You're in the post, and then you're doing it at that, and it was.
And they barely miss.
Yeah.
Interesting thing though, like we were saying earlier about Buxton and chemistry. What I'm just using that as a good local example. If you did Frelick for Buxton, I think you keep your chemistry intact. I think your chemistry maybe goes up a little bit, maybe. Buxton would have to obviously waive his no trade. So if you're like, he doesn't want to leave the Twins, well, he would have to, at that point, have gotten to decide, I want to leave. And actually, the way the Twins are playing, I don't think he's going to be waiving that.
Yeah.
I don't think even if the poll ads come to him, I don't think he's going to be waiving that right now.
Yeah.
So,
but that's another center fielder, and that's where the Brewers actually have some depth now.
Right.
So, or is it the whole Garrett Mitchell, kind of the Caleb Durbin, Isaac Collins thing where maybe they sell high? And don't think, is this the peak where it's not going to get any better?
Well,
that could
that's
be the other
evaluation question on Matt Arnold's part. And I think they've done a pretty good job. So I guess here comes the question. Do you want a certain player on the team, or do you want the team to have the best shot of winning? Which usually it's, you want the team. But if it involves a favorite player, that gets a little dicey. But usually the Brewers' moves have usually worked out. I saw the stat the other day that in the Freddie Peralta trade, no one has at least as of like 3 days ago, no one has a positive WAR.
Oh, really?
There were like a couple of them. I think this season, Freddie Peralta's at 0 and.
But where's the arrow going? Which one would you feel better about the trajectory? Is it Freddie Peralta or Brandon Sproat? I kind of would go Sproat at this point.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen Jet Williams yet. So.
Right. I mean, yeah, if you'd asked me this a month and a half ago, I'd be like.
Think about this, though. Okay, so that was Freddie Peralta, an all-star. Brewers get Sproat and Jet Williams in return. And remember, Brewers also traded Tobias Myers to the Mets as part of that. Whereas the Red Sox deal was 3 third basemen, Caleb Durbin, Andrew Monasterio, and Anthony Siegler for Kyle Harrison, David Hamilton, and Shane Drowan. You got Kyle Harrison and Shane Drowan who are looking to be pretty darn good pitchers right now.
Yeah.
And it was that deal over, the Mets one that maybe got the highest return at this point in time.
Well,
and Jet Williams might be a trade target, too, for somebody else because of all the depth they've got.
Take one guy, move him to the other. You know how trading works around. I think, again, that speaks to Arnold sussing stuff out. Well, also, I think it speaks a little bit to the Red Sox getting fleeced by the Brewers. This is a thing. It'd be cool if Freddie Peralta were still a Brewer right now. But I don't think this isn't.
They
don't
miss him.
Yeah, it's not like a take to say they don't need him right now. Duh, they don't need him. They're in good shape right now. So I kind of trust they're going to make probably the best move that they possibly can make at the deadline. Mm-hmm. As long as much as we always worry that Jacob Mizorowski's arm is going to go flying off at a certain point, you have what you have. I don't know that you can get many better pitchers. Now I think Skubal's less likely to go the way the Tigers have been trending upwards of late. I don't know that I would go so far as to say Skubal is now unlikely to be traded, but the chances are going down, and I don't see the Brewers making a move. Mm-hmm. No. But for power hitting, I still think that's out there, and that's where we go back to who's your best trade bait.
Yeah.
And it might be, maybe it is like a Frelick, just to use 2 names we mentioned, Williams and Frelick. What kind of a return do you think those 2 could get?
Williams probably more, I would think, a little bit more, just because of the unknown factor.
Could you combine the 2 and get a really...
I think so. You got a Gold Glove young outfielder,
and that might give you the prowess. So maybe something like that's floating out there in the next few weeks.
All right, we got to take our final break. We'll be back with some picks coming up after these quick words. All right, wrapping up this nonsense. We've got some picks to get to here, so let's jump right into it in the baseball world. We've got today Toronto taking on the Giants. Dylan Cease versus Logan Webb.
Oh, boy.
That's a decent one.
That's a really good one. I'll take San Francisco.
I'm going to go Toronto. I'll go with the Blue Jays. How about the Cubbies versus Baltimore?
I'll take Chicago.
Yeah, I'll go Cubs, too. How about Athletics and the Tigers?
I'll take Detroit.
I'll go Athletics for this one. Let's do Braves, Pittsburgh.
Bravos.
Yeah, Braves. Pittsburgh got their game last night with Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
So, and helps when O'Hearn hits 3 home runs. So
also true.
Yankees versus the Rays.
I'll take the Rays.
I'm going to go Yankees. Got Garrett Cole on this one. So we'll see. But Tampa Bay did get the win yesterday. We've got Mariners versus the Marlins.
The Mariners and the Marylands.
Yeah.
I'll take Miami.
I'll go Seattle. Houston versus the Nationals.
I'll take Washington.
I'll go Washington, too. How about Philadelphia versus Cincinnati? Chase Burns going for Cincinnati.
Okay.
Says undecided for Philly right now.
I'll take Cincy.
I'll go with I'm going to go Cincy, too. Let's go Kansas City versus the Mets.
Underwhelming this season between those 2. I'll go with the Mets. Why not?
I'll go Kansas City. How about the Red Sox and the White Sox?
White Sox.
Yeah, I'll go White Sox, too. We've got Angels and Rangers.
Rangers.
Diamondbacks, Padres in a critical series.
I'll go Pods.
I'll go Padres, too. We've got Colorado versus the Dodgers.
I'll take Los Angeles.
I'll take the Dodgers, too. And then finally, we've got Brewers and the Cardinals. Kyle Harrison on the mound for the Brewers. Michael McGreevy going for the Cardinals.
St. Louis.
I'm going Kyle Harrison. Brewers get their 4th straight win.
Okay. I'll say there's little bits of concern about Harrison start to come out in the wake of this. Little bits. Not like, oh my gosh, he's lost it, but like maybe completely off the Cy Young watch.
Okay.
Completely off. I don't want that to happen, but I'm just going to throw that out as a prediction.
Okay.
Bold
That's
predictions.
Fair. That's fair. All right. I get you. So we don't have any World Cup games today, do we?
Today is a no soccer day.
All right. So what's
recovery after yesterday?
So our next one's tomorrow.
Yes.
France versus Morocco.
Mm-hmm. England, Norway is going to be fun because those are 2 of my 3 favorite teams. Now that Team USA is out, and
is Norway a surprise team right now?
Not entirely really? Because of Erling Haaland.
Is that
He's
the
one
guy
of the
that's
best in the world.
Okay.
So I mean,
is there any surprise team left?
Not really. It's kind of. I mean, I guess you could say Team USA would have been the surprise, but again, based on the rankings, like Cape Verde clearly would have been one, but that's obviously not the case. So now we've got a lot of the usual suspects. Probably the bigger thing is who's not there. I mean, but yeah. Spain, Belgium, France, Morocco, Norway, England, Argentina. Switzerland, maybe they have kind of one of the better pathways so far, but that's going to get cut off pretty soon, I think.
What's the best matchup coming up here that's remaining?
Probably. I mean, I'm getting drawn to Norway, England for the reason I just said.
That looks like it's the closest one with the odds.
That's the other thing. I think it's based on the personnel involved. Can Haaland really almost single-handedly bring Norway past England? And that's definitely possible. So I think that's probably the closest matchup. I think Spain's going to have their way with Belgium. France should get past Morocco, I think. I think Argentina now, that's one of those where the vibes are with them. Mm-hmm. So I think that I keep waiting for England to have one of its, of course, underwhelming performances, because that's how they always go. Mm-hmm. It's coming home. No, it's not. Maybe this is when Norway gets along. So I think my picks right now are France, Spain, Argentina, and Norway to advance to the Final Four to mixed sports.
Tickets are not cheap for these games.
Nope, and I understand.
Yeah, they're well over 1,000. The cheapest one I'm looking at ESPN right now is France and Morocco. Tickets as low as $1,049.
All right, I hope you bought your tickets by now.
Yeah, most expensive is Norway and England.
Yeah,
$1,847.
Hey, by the way, locally, so what? We got the Cavs night tonight. That's where I'm wearing my Greatest Hits 98.1 shirt because weather permitting, we're going to be there 7 o'clock tonight, so you might see me at the game. But Northwoods League All-Star game, I think, is tonight at the Field of Dreams.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
And the Express have the most players.
6. That is so cool.
Yep.
So, yeah, that.
Have you been there since you went to
I have never been there.
You went to college in Iowa? And you did?
It's further away than you'd think.
Okay.
And I mean, Luther is right over the border from Minnesota. Dyersville's still a little ways down. You got to plan that out a bit more.
Okay.
That's not really a day trip from Eau Claire, but at some point I got to go. Mm-hmm. Or I will change that at some point.
Yeah. All right. Shot clock is going to cut us off. So have tomorrow, Thursday. So your homework assignments, do your 3 up, 3 downs, and your MI wrongs. Come up with those. And then come up with any questions you may have for Mr. Jake Boakes, our DNR warning for our Tailgate Outdoors chat tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day.